Hello, Virgo. I have prayed over the cards, shuffled them, asked that you all receive at least one message. Oh, wow, that's good. Good stuff. And you guys can even see the images very clearly. So we have goblins, number 5, and then we go into music of the spheres, and then the rainbow prince, compensation, perseverance. So goblins, this first card that we have. A number of you out there are going through a lot of changes right now, and it's a lot of changes that are kind of, out of your control. Changes that you didn't foresee, changes that you didn't plan. And a number of you are fearful of making those changes. And, fear is like this card. It talks about how fear is an illusion, that we must choose love today, that we need to choose to forgive ourselves and forgive others in order to move from this dark place into this place of illumination. So these changes that a number of you are going through, they're changes that you did not anticipate. So for some of us, we have to let go of lovers, of exes. For some of us, we have to let go of spouses. For some of us, we have to let go of a job, a career, some career financial goals that we had. And the divine is pushing and guiding us to do that. So it is a divine calling. So for some people, are being, divinely called to start to pursue a spiritual path. Maybe they're being called into ministry. They could be called into, becoming a yoga practitioner or a healer or a nutritionist or a spiritual metaphysical teacher. But it's completely different than the path that, you've been on. So when we have a divine calling come in, what happens is it's something that we don't plan. We all have our plans. Like, we have a goal of the dream job that we want. We sometimes have someone in mind that, this is the person I'm going to be with. And these are our plans. But God's plans are not our plans. And God's plans are better than what we could ever envision. But that often forces us to make changes that we don't want to make to answer that call. And if it's a very strong calling, the urgency in us answering that call becomes more intense. So say, for example, my path. Years ago, I was in this horrible relationship. God was trying to get me to separate myself from him, get away from him and head down my path. I kept ignoring it. Then I had this near-death car accident. And again, that was God trying to wake me up, to get me off and get me onto my path that I'm meant to be doing. I still ignored the call. And then I went to Afghanistan. I had a bomb blow up in my face. It should have completely evaporated me and everything another 40 meters beyond me. They shouldn't have been able to find any of me to send home. But God protected me, and I came home. But at that point, I stopped ignoring the call. At that point, it was like, okay, God, whatever you want me to do, I will do. Just show me and stop having these bad things happening, because I don't want any more car accidents. I don't want any more accidents and issues popping up. Just tell me and I will do it. But I answered the call, and it wasn't easy, because if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be doing readings and healings for people, I would have told you lost your mind, because I'm an officer in the military, striving to become director of communications. I have these goals in mind that I am going to do, but that wasn't the plan that God had for me. Now that I have surrendered to the plan, life is so much more magical and easy. Life's easy now. But when we go through these changes, it's not easy. We may have this person in mind that, is this divine love, and come hell or high water, we're going to be with that person. Well, if that's not who we're meant to be with, the hell keeps getting turned up until we finally surrender to the call. But to get ourselves out of this dark place, we have to answer that call. And it's not that this is done by the divine to torture us, to have us in painful situations. It's to get us to a better place. It's to get us to the light. It's to get us where we're meant to be. It's to get us to those things that we've been praying for and asking for. For some, it's a home. For some, it's a family. For some, it's financial abundance. But a lot of us have been on a path that's not leading us to those things. So the divine has stepped in and is trying to get us on that path. But what happens is, this goblin card is, because of fear, we're not moving forward into the path that we're meant to be on. We're not answering that call. And it's out of fear. And it could be because, maybe you have to give up someone that you loved and you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with them. But you've seen they're saying for a number of you in that situation, that person's not the right one. You've just held on to them out of comfort, out of fear. They're like your safety blankie. But that fear keeps you from moving forward. For some of you, it's completely changing careers from something you've always done, you've done for years, you're very good at it, into something completely new, completely out of the norm. You have to completely learn it from square one. And it's fearful, but trust, overcome the fear. Because those of you that are going through these major milestone life changes right now, it's been painful. It's been a painful experience. For some of you, it's really wounded you. For some of you, it's dealt with love. And you've started to believe, they're saying for some of you, these unplanned changes, these things, they've made some of you feel unworthy, victimized, unlovable. It's caused some of you to start self-sabotaging yourself, not believing in your worth, not believing in your value, feeling that you lack what you need. So for some of you that, okay, I lack the financial abundance to move forward, or I lack the skill sets, or I lack what it takes to be a good partner. But these are just your shadows, and they're just fears coming through. It's not real. Because what they're doing is they're trying to get you to progress forward. They're saying you're right there, you're on the cusp. All you need to do is take a few more steps through this fearful time. Because this, instead of looking at this change as a, woe is me, why am I going through this? Why has my life been flipped upside down? Go with it, surrender it. Because they're saying for those of you that are in the situation, you're getting a ton of signs about this new path, this new direction that they're trying to lead you onto. Trust those signs. Trust that synchronicity. They're trying to lead you to your bliss. They're trying to lead you to your happiness. But in order to get there, you have to go through this opportunity of growth, because you are truly growing. You're becoming a better you. For a number of you, this is around you loving yourself and knowing you're worthy of that. For some of you, it's letting go of resentments and anger toward others. For some of you, toward yourself. For some, it's to let go of that self-sabotaging negative talk that you do with yourself, to make yourself feel as though you're unworthy, incapable, to let that go. Because you're amazing. It's time to remember that. Because the divine's trying to help you. They're trying to heal you. They're trying to get you to these miracles. They're trying to get you to the other side. Just let go of your fear. Let go of your negativity. And they're saying some of you are still fighting the transformation. You see there's like these green eyes down here in 3 sets. They're saying some of you, you're fighting the change because of like green with envy. So maybe you had this partner that you thought you were going to end up with. That partner left you for someone else. But that wasn't the right partner for you anyhow, and you knew that. They're saying for some of you, you've been on the brink of breakup, or you've been back and forth for months or years. They weren't meant for you. So instead of looking at it like, okay, someone stole this partner of mine, look at it like, thank you, God, for finally ending that for me. Because what happens is the longer we fight what we're meant to be doing, or the path we're meant to be on, or the person we're meant to be with, or the job we're meant to do, the more we fight it, the harder the things get. And what happens is if we don't follow the signs and synchronicities, and we don't answer that call, or we don't take those action steps that we're being guided to do, God, the angels, the divine, they will just step in and do it for us. So instead of looking at it, it's a shift in perspective, they're saying. So instead of looking at like, oh my gosh, I lost this person I thought I was going to be with. I'm green with envy because that other person got it. Or for some, maybe it was a job, a dream job that you wanted. I'm green with envy because somebody else got it. Look at it as though, thank you, God. Thank you, angels, for removing that from me. Thank you for removing what's blocking me. Now help me overcome my fear so I can finish this transition and get to the other side. Because you're so close. You're so close. You're right there. Which is interesting because the next card that we have is Music of the Spheres. And this is a card that talks about, you know, you are about to enter a positive, fertile, new beginning, a new period in your life in which you're going to discover the joys in life. Living a blissful life, an inspired life, a fulfilled life, having your dreams come true. They're commending you because you've made a lot of progress, because a number of you, they're saying you've had to let a lot go. Not just work, not just love. You've had to let friends go. You've had to let some family members go. You've had to, for some of you, you've had to let like financial ventures go, some business partners go. But you've had to let all that go so you can get to this other side. And for some, it's been a painful, long, difficult journey. But you have this new phase of your life that's about to unfold. And it's going to be better than you could imagine. Filled with love, filled with joy. All these things that you have been going through are culminating now. It really, truly is just switching that perspective from a place of fear to a place of trust so you can embark forward. It's kind of like an easement. So you can go from this stage into the next. Now for some of you, you know, this truly is talking like music, because you're at a place of frustration because you've been working at this for so long, and it just seems like for some of you there's delays, and you know, it seems like things aren't going your way. We do energetically impact things with our thoughts. So if you can shift yourself to a more positive, optimistic outlook, you'll notice that it will help things go smoother, go a little more quickly. And ways to do that is to listen to music. So, listen to some music that lifts your spirits. Even if it's, you're in the car and you've had a stressful bad day, turn on an upbeat music, an upbeat song that you like, and dance in the car. That will raise your vibration. That will get you to a more positive, optimistic place. Now, for some of you, they're saying you would benefit from having some sound healing. If you go to most metaphysical locations that offer, various metaphysical healing modalities, typically they may offer reflexology, they may offer Reiki, they may offer sound healing. Because for some of you, you've been trying so hard to create something, and what's happened is your energies are off balance. So you need to get your energies back in balance. And in a quick sound healing will attune that. There's also some various, out on YouTube, you can listen to, there's different melodies that can attune your energies, balance your energies, and it's sound healing. So you may find some of those online that are free that you can listen to that will get you balanced. Now for some of you, you see how she's fully exposed. She's not hiding anything. She's 100% exposed. For some of you to transition into this other side, you have to expose yourself. You have to speak the truth. Blue is the color of your throat chakra. You have to speak the truth with yourself. For some of you, you have to speak the truth with someone else. So for some of you, it could be having that conversation to finally let someone go. For some of you, it could be having a conversation with that new person that you've not been bringing in. For some of you, it could be having a conversation with a business partner, ending it. For some of you, it could be having a conversation with someone that you're going to be starting a new venture with. But it's new. But it requires communications, because you see that the water's wavy and turbulent. So you've been in a very turbulent emotional time for a while. In order to get to this other side where the water's smooth, still, emotions are smooth, emotions are balanced, everything's happy, not stormy and rocky, you're going to have to bury yourself. You're going to have to communicate. Because if you look, she's got like these lines coming up from her feet, from her base. For some of you, the final challenge, the final hurdle that you have to overcome is communications, because the foundation root is communications. You've not been communicating, someone's not been communicating with you. Once those communications are made and things are exposed, made clear, the hurdles will be done, and you can progress forward. But you have to communicate. It's essential. Now the last card we have is the Rainbow Prince, and at the top it says compensation, perseverance. It is number 26. Now the thing about 26 is, obviously if we boil that down, it comes to number 8, which is, prosperity. It also is, the infinity symbol, infinite love. But 26 is a number that talks about positive affirmations, and how if we have positive affirmations, positive thoughts, positive thinking, that will improve things, and it will improve things very quickly, rapidly. So the angels are urging you to think positively, speak positively, visualize positively, and don't think about your fears or your worries or your doubts or your concerns that things won't happen or they won't unfold. Because you're a lot of you are stuck in this dark place. And so you're constantly thinking about what could go wrong. What's, what if I have this conversation, they still won't accept me? Or what if I, move forward in this, new business venture, new career venture is a flop. Those are the thoughts that are running in your head. That's why you're stuck. But if you can come and switch your thoughts to, okay, I'm following the signs. Thank you, angels. Thank you for giving me these obnoxious, repeated signs. I'm going to have that conversation with her, or I'm going to have that conversation with him, and I'm going to move forward with them because I can tell that's where you're heading me. Or I'm going to take that leap of faith. I'm going to start practicing yoga part-time while I'm transitioning from my full-time job into a yoga practice. But I'm going to take that leap of faith because I can tell that is where you are guiding me to go, and not allow the fears to get in your way. Because if you can do that, things will progress swiftly and in your favor. Because the Rainbow Prince, this is a card that talks about, compensation, law of receiving. Because a lot of you have been giving so much to other people you have not been receiving. And you've had to endure, rainbows come after a rainstorm. You've gone through this turbulent rainstorm. You've had to lose a lot of things. You've had to let a lot of things go. But your pot of gold is right there. It's within reach. You are being rewarded for all the hard work that you've done. You're just not seeing it yet. But if you keep your sights above, if you keep looking up, because what happens is we typically have to hit rock bottom before we look up for help. But it's when we look up for help and they give us the guidance, they give us the information, they give us our next steps, and we follow those things, that's what leads us to our bliss. That's what leads us to the pot of gold. That's what you have awaiting you. And the rewards that you are receiving, some of you are starting to receive, some of you are about to receive them. As soon as you can Move forward. Let go of the fear. Let go of the doubts. Let go of those limiting beliefs. Communicate. The moment you let that go, you're going to receive rewards and blessings greater than what you could have imagined, because you're right there. Don't give up. Let's pull a couple quick clarifiers on the goblins and the rainbow prince. Okay, so goblins. The Normans, they're interesting cards. They play off of each other. So the first card that you have is mice. And that talks about, you know, something being stolen from you, something of value that held great value for you that was, in your eyes, stolen. Could have been a love. I get for most of you, it's a love because you have home being the final outcome. Could have been a job. But this is something you valued. This is something you really wanted. This is, you know, this was your bread and butter, and it was taken from you. But it was taken because it wasn't meant for you. It was not meant for you. That person wasn't meant for you. That job wasn't meant for you. You're meant for something greater. Because the thing is, when we answer the call, it's not to get something worse. It's not to step down a notch. It's to step up, maybe 10 rungs up. But we can't see it initially. But if we trust and we surrender and we let the things go that, you know, God, divine angels are taking from us, we get these amazing rewards. So right now you're on the cusp of a new beginning because you've had to let this go. For a lot of you, it's love. For some of you, it's career. For some of you, it's business partners. You had to let that go, and that was not your choice. That was divine's choice. But you're on the cusp of a new beginning. Lilies, these represent, you know, rebirth. Rebirth, new beginnings, bliss, happiness. It's also, you know, tied to, you know, something that's, you know, content, you know, contentment, satisfaction, long-term relationships. But it also speaks of, you know, purity, something that's eternal. But you're embarking on that. You have that. You're at the cusp of that. You really are. And if you can embrace that, if you can embrace that new beginning, let those fears go, communicate, take that step forward, trust, it is going to lead to a happy home. This is the House card. This talks about your family, your stability, your foundation, your comfort, your structure, your sanctuary. And look how happy and bright it is. Compared to all this. That's where you're headed. You just have to embrace it. Because I keep saying you are so close. So, clarifiers for the Rainbow Prince. The first card that you have is Coffin. Now, some people get, you know, this obviously talks death, endings, transition, depression, loss, finality, something being completely over. People often fear, like in traditional tarot card, they'll fear the death card. The death card's actually a good card because you have to have something end in order to rise like the phoenix and have something new. And actually the phoenix is right there at the bottom. If you guys can see with the glare. You've had to lose this person, this job, this thing, in order for you to rise from the ashes, in order to get your pot of gold. You had to let it go. And they're saying a lot of it, it was not your own fruition, it wasn't your choice, it wasn't your decision, but it was God's choice, it was divine's choice. Angels are helping you with that. Let it go. It's done. It's over. They're not going to resurrect that again. They will resurrect you again with the person you're meant to be with the career you're meant to be in, with the path that you're supposed to be on, the job, the things that you're meant to do, how you're going to serve others. And for some of you, they're saying it's 26 is 8. That's 8. So they're saying for some of you, it's it really is a divine love. So for some of you, you know, maybe you've had to let someone go because they're trying to get you with a divine love partner. When it comes to divine love connections, like say twin flames, they're here to serve humanity. Yes, they get this amazing, blissful relationship that's like storybooks are built out of. Amazing sex, happiness, joy, bliss, everything just flows. But that's because they're here for a bigger purpose. They're here for humanity. They're here to help people. They're here to heal people. They're here to assist people. They're here to love people. But it starts with letting go of things that aren't loving them or keeping them from loving themselves or keeping them stuck loving themselves and being able to move forward and share that. Now, for all of you, you've had something that's been taken away. Career, love, work, finances. But there's a reason. There's a greater purpose to that because the next card that you have is the stars. And this talks about, you know, a new path, wishing upon a star. You know, having the star indicates that, you know, your wishes are being fulfilled. This talks about success. It talks about, thanking your lucky stars. You're being blessed. This thing dying, this thing going away, this thing ending is a blessing for you. It's what's going to bring your dreams to fruition. You can't hold on to that and have your dreams come true. And that's why it was removed. But if you can let it go gracefully, shift your mindset, shift to a place of optimism, what it's going to do is, the next card we have is the Mountain. Now, the interesting thing with Lenormand's is, the Mountain, this talks about obstacles, resistance, delays, detours, but the Lenormand's play off of what card is beside it. So the card that you have beside it is the Stars. So what that's an indication of is that you have positive prospects, success in store. That is going to cause you to have clear navigation. So at this point, so what it's saying essentially is, at this point, you're having a hard time envisioning the future. You envision that, okay, I've had nothing but hurdles and heartache and stress the past, 6, 12 months or 2, 3, 4 years. I don't see it getting better. All I keep seeing is this massive mountain I have to climb. But you don't have a mountain to climb. By changing your perspective, by knowing that your dreams are coming in, they are coming true, they're already moving those mountains. You're just not aware of it. They're saying some of you, you're just creating mountains in your head. You know how they started off by saying your thoughts getting to a place of optimism? They even ended on that note. That, you have to change your perspective. Your thoughts, you have to trust and know this is meant for you. It is going to go well. It is a blessing. By changing that perspective, there are no mountains. You will clear those. It's they're saying for most of you, it's simply in your head. So they said to flip over the Lenormands. There's the card on the bottom. So the overall energy, if you can do your work, and I hope everyone can do your work. If you can do your work, the overall energy is the Sun. And this is a card that talks about success. Hearing me roar, it brings in confidence. It gives you the courage. It's a card that talks about victory, glory, success, blessings, good luck, happiness. You're on the cusp of your happiness. You just need to trust the guidance you're getting and help yourself by shifting these few things that they're encouraging you to do. And ask the angels for help doing that, and they will help you do that. Because you're almost there. You're almost there. Those of you in a situation, they are commending you, they are congratulating you. You've had to go through a lot. But it's so worth it, and you're about to see how worth it truly is. Filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.